Welcome to the Poor Perspective.
Welcome to the Poor Perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Blake, you wanted to start off with something. What would you like to tell us that happened recently? Because I've got something to come up behind you after you tell me.
Oh, you want to come?
I want everybody to listen.
That sounds weird.
Shut the. Now we got to restart.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna cut it out. I'm just gonna cut it out.
No, bro, it's funny.
It's not that funny.
Trump did it.
Trump did it.
He pardoned NBA young boy.
He pardoned NBA young.
Now, if only he could give him the cure to herpes.
First of all,
Young boy got herpes. You didn't know that?
No, I don't.
He literally
First
said,
of all,
herpes in my blood.
didn't
That's
Young
what he
Boy
sings.
NBA? That's his name, right?
It's NBA young boy,
Young Boy.
but now it's young
Didn't
boy
he
never
kill
broke again.
somebody?
No.
What? Then why is he in jail or prison?
Gun charges.
Yeah, he.
But
had-
he has a song that literally he admits to killing
I
somebody.
mean, he probably has killed somebody. I don't think he's going to jail for it.
Yeah, you know.
He's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
can-
let me rephrase this. He was a gangster
And
from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm sure he shot at people.
He's probably killed more than one person.
Right?
Can courts use songs
Yes.
for evidence?
How do you think freaking Bobby
Lyrics.
Smurder got arrested?
Who?
Bobby Smurder, Hot Boy,
Lil
the
Durk.
Hot Boy.
Lil Durk.
He literally in the song confessed of killing cops and two people on the block. Like he gave out all the they have used lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's actually like kind of somewhat of a gray area where they're fighting like, oh, you can't use the person's lyrics and right now they still are. But yeah, it's a great. But yes,
It depends on how you do it. Bobby Smurder got convicted because he literally
outed everything.
He literally did not change it. He did not. He just said exactly what happened.
He said road name,
What an idiot.
street
Yeah.
name,
What an idiot.
what blog. Sound
That's
like
why nobody.
dude.
That's why nobody's gotten Gates, bro, because he's speaking code, man.
Kevin Gates speaks in code. Is that what
Yes,
you just said?
sir.
I'm sure. He does. I know.
I feel like Kevin Gates is like the Cat Williams of the rap industry.
No, fuck off. Kevin Gates is OG, bro.
So is Cat Williams.
Well, what? Yeah.
Nah, Cat Williams is looked at as like kind of like a goofy guy.
No,
Like,
that's his thing though.
that's his
He's
thing,
always
yeah.
even when he comes out on podcasts and stuff, he comes off very
Everything-
goofy.
not- I mean,
like
I'm sure-
like oh, he might be
Yeah,
a little
but
crazy.
people
on some,
laugh
like
at
Orlando
him.
Brown type shit, but then you have him come out with that podcast with Shannon Sharp, and it's like he aired out the whole
he
industry.
aired out
But people
So it's
people know Cat Williams personally and laugh at him. People don't know Gates personally and laugh at him. I'm just saying, bro. Do a little bit. Do your due diligence.
He's the analogy of
So-
like,
Do your due diligence.
This is a crossover that I think you would like. There's this streamer guy. His name is Blackboy Max. I've talked about him before on the stream.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Well,
Let's be
why-
real.
you probably know of him, but for different reasons than I know of
Probably.
him. But Kevin Gates went on his.
I know
fuck
exactly
you.
what you're talking about.
Kevin Gates went on his stream. And was writing down lyrics on his. He still uses to this day
Yeah.
a Blackberry to write down do all of his
Kevin
music
Gates
stuff.
OG, bro.
And he was just Blackboy Max was just he saw it and he was just like, what the fuck?
well, actually, pause. Bring back the BlackBerry.
Bring back the
BlackBerry.
Please. I was a child. My father was obsessed with his BlackBerry.
You know, that was like the only phone that like rose to like iPhone levels before
Yes.
because it was
Before
like,
the
when you had a
iPhone.
black phone, it was like, oh, you're a professional. You have a BlackBerry.
You have a BlackBerry.
It was like you have a black. Okay.
Okay, all
I
right.
see you. What you got a Rolls Royce?
Dude, my
too?
dad.
Like,
I used to play the Brick Breaker game on
yeah.
on my dad's
Talk about
BlackBerry.
Minesweeper.
No, I never played Minesweeper, but I played Brick Breaker.
I was
It's
a
where the
Snake
little
person.
thing. It's like
I'll
Pong,
Snake is
except
cool.
by
That's
yourself.
because you're older.
Snake was a fun.
Yeah.
Game. Fuck you.
You're just a little older than us. That's why you played Snake.
No, Snake was the shit. Brick Breaker also, I know what you're talking about. It's the little bar. You have to fucking bounce the ball back and.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about.
He played Snake on his mom's track phone when he was a kid.
Okay,
Oh,
that
that's so
could be taken wrong. That could be taken very wrong, bro.
Yeah, was it Verizon? Yeah, Verizon, and their ass. And I had a Nokia. Thank you.
A
It
Nokia.
was a brick.
Yeah,
Little Nokia brick, but guess what? It lasted forever. I could chuck that thing through a window or a cow's head, and it still.
Well, there's
My
literally
first-
been cases of people shooting other people, and then the Nokia catches the bullet basically like armor.
because they were meant to last, baby.
No.
I say those
Japanese, I think.
I think.
I had a Rottweiler named Nokia.
Was there a specific reason why she was named Nokia? Just because you're like, yeah, that's a good name.
My, oh damn, 50 Cent made a headline in the New York Post. 50 Cent vows to dissuade Trump from potential Diddy pardon after Prez teased possibility.
That is
we ain't gotta
fake
get into
fucking news. Trump is not going to pardon Diddy. What the heck is going on here?
I think he just was watching what he said. He said, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so developed in Finland, and the production of Nokia was in multiple locations of China, India, and Vietnam.
Okay, Nokia sounded like a Japanese word to me.
Well, they had Nokias in Japan. Like they were big in Japan at some point.
I wish that was.
Yeah, they were big everywhere.
So was Blackberry.
Okay.
But yeah, so my stepdad just likes to give the dogs exotic names. So we had a Nokia, a Princess Sophia. But Sophia is an exotic.
Jerry from New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah. And then the last Roddy we had was Nikita.
Nikita.
Isn't that a TV show?
Nikita is like a character on a TV show.
But the TV show is called Nikita.
There might be a character in Mortal Kombat named Nikita.
No, her name is Katana.
Yeah.
But I know that. I'm just saying.
That's my favorite. What up, gang? What up, gang?
But
what up, twin?
I was going to tell Izzy something
Dwayne.
earlier, and then I stopped because I wanted to tell him on the podcast. On Fox News, I can't ever remember this guy's name. He's on Fox
George
News.
Hannity.
He's basically the new Tucker Carlson.
George Hannity.
I don't know.
Is he older?
No, he's like, maybe he's like in his 40s. He's no gray hair whatsoever. He's dark brown hair, but he basically
heard that stutter.
The Democrats are basically coming around to the idea, and they're making blue "Make America Great Again" hats.
Yep.
And the headline was, "If you can't beat them, join them." And a lot of people are saying that this is going to be the new thing for the Democrats to revitalize.
So
the
you know what that
DNC.
means? That means that over the next probably like 10 years, it's going to be some of the best times in America before they start bickering over the bullshit again. You know, because right now, if they change, they're going to be fighting over things that matter. And then eventually it's going to get to bullshit again. And
it always ends up back at bullshit. But I don't
Yep.
think that there's ever been a time where there wasn't not as big of a divide, but there was always a divide of some type.
Yeah.
Where you have.
It's always going to be a division.
But and then you also have to realize that the Democrats and the conservatives switched in like the 1800s at a certain.
They've switched
in the
a
early
lot.
1900s.
Yeah. Republicans were the ones that saved. Freed the slaves.
Yeah, because the Republicans were originally from the North.
And they were all about freedom of speech and progressive ideas, I guess. And then it flipped to the Democrats being the ones
who are progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I can.
I don't know if you. I'm sorry, what?
I was gonna say at least.
Gay.
So
I don't know if anybody knows this. There used to be like a couple different parties in America. One of the parties was the Democratic Republicans.
Democratic Republicans.
And then all of a sudden, when was it? Maybe I think it was after the Civil War. Yeah, I'm pretty sure after the Civil War, it turned into Republicans and Democrats because that party split and
became,
Yeah, now we have basically one party system.
Do you know anything about the Betsy Ross flag?
What about it?
What is it? I just don't know what it is.
You know who Betsy Ross is?
I mean, I think she was one of the first. She was the first person to ever create the American flag. Am I correct?
Like the one with the circle stars.
Instead. Yeah.
She stitched that I think during the American Revolution.
So I've been seeing a lot of stuff that you know who Pete Hegseth is.
Yes.
So Pete Hegseth went in front of someone. You know that they do these hearings and like random people have to get grilled for hours on end or whatever. During that, you know, they wear pins for like the American flag, or they have some sort of American flag on them. He had the Betsy Ross American flag, and a lot of people are saying that the Betsy Ross American flag is connected to white supremacy right now, which I don't understand why it would be. But then you have
because it was created in a time in America that there were slaves.
Yeah,
but.
But they're using this as basically to say that Pete Hegseth is a white supremacist. He has, and then they're calling him out for some of the tattoos that he has.
You're talking about whenever his Senate confirmation hearing.
Probably.
So before he got confirmed. Yeah, no, that was a while ago. But yeah, they
But
grilled
yeah,
him like
I just see a lot. I've just been seeing a lot of that recently.
the cross that he has on his chest, I think is called, oh man, the Georgian cross maybe? I can't remember. But it's an ancient Christian symbol.
Speaking of crosses, my brain goes on a tangent while y'all were. I don't know what y'all were saying. Your rings confuse me.
My rings confuse me.
Yeah. Maybe
Why do
that-
my rings confuse
that
me?
one right there.
This one right
That
here.
whole hand.
This one.
The Knights
You got
Templar
the.
didn't fuck with Nordic religion, and Egyptian mythology
Yeah.
and religion doesn't go with any of those either. Your
But
your hand is clashing.
you as a person who has claimed that you like to study all religions.
Yeah.
Why do you? What's wrong with that?
Because mainly the Knights Templar and the Nordic, they.
This is not the Knights Templar. This is a Christian cross.
Oh, it looks Templar.
This is a
No?
Christian cross.
Right.
That is a Christian cross.
I mean, yeah, the Knights
that
Templar
is a
were
Christian cross.
I mean, yeah,
It's a cross, but the Knights
but
Templar.
Knights
I wouldn't
Templar's
say that it's a
cross
Knights
looks-
Templar cross. I really.
If you're
wouldn't.
looking for one that's like more specific to Knights Templar, it'd be the cross that's like even. You know what I'm saying?
It's more of an
this.
even cross. It's
Be
not.
like
It's not a
this.
Christian cross. The Christian cross is something different than the Knights Templar cross.
No, that's not true.
I mean, I'm saying it looks a little different. The tail end of it is shorter than a regular cross.
Yeah, but they also use those as well.
Well, that's not what it is for me.
Yeah, but I'm
exactly.
speaking more
We're
of
talking
that
about
one.
that
It's
one
a
right
touch
there. That one
I
right
wasn't
there.
trying to touch
The
it,
one
I
on the
was just
right hand side and the one on the left hand side.
I'm pretty sure that's the one that he has tattooed on him.
Who?
Pete Hegseth.
Oh, okay. So I was like, what? What is he a Knights Templar?
No, he's a
Do you believe
Christian.
they still exist in like
Oh
secrecy
yeah.
and
Oh
hidden?
yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. It's
There was
the-
there is. Oh, sorry. Let me history nerd, bro. Hold
Okay.
up.
Okay. Go.
I can't remember the other, but there was
Maybe
another group that was kind of like the rival to Knights Templar, and
The Assassins?
no, they're
That was actually no. That was no. I'm not even shitting you. That was actually fucking real. There was an assassin order.
I'm sure there was.
No, there
but-
genuinely was.
This is not Assassin's Creed,
Bro,
bro.
I'm
That's not an accurate part of the game, bro.
There is an assassin, a fucking order of people. There
I
is a
under,
secret
there
order
there
of
was,
assassins.
but it's not what you.
There's a
think
lot
it
of
was.
orders, but it wasn't like they were fighting over control of the world or something like
Well,
that.
no,
like in the
no,
game.
they weren't looking for the freaking, apple of Eden. No, motherfucker, but there are still assassins out
yeah,
there.
but
Yeah, but that's like
it's-
saying that the Japanese had ninjas.
But you said that they were the rivals to the Knights Templar.
Okay, wait,
'Cause that's
they
what I
did-
was-
They did have samurais and ninjas.
no, they
They did, they
yeah,
fought
but
each
ninjas
other.
were a lot different than what you think they were.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause they were
I know
farmers.
that, but you said that's like saying they had ninjas. They in fact did have ninjas.
I know. I'm just saying the comparison. The comparison.
But they were not rivals with. I mean, I don't know anything about them being rivals with an assassin cult. But
Yeah, I've never.
whatever. Sorry, Izzy. I didn't mean to. Sorry, that was kind of rude of me. But it got me. That was funny. There was another group that was the People's something of whatever. And whenever the King of France got mad at the Knights Templar, essentially, long story short, what happened? They gained a lot of wealth, and the king, there were a lot of wealth, and the King of France kept borrowing money
From the Knights Templar.
Yeah, ended up getting so in debt to them, he was like, I'm not gonna pay it, so he just excommunicated them, claimed that they were worshipers of Satan and whatnot, and then had the Pope excommunicate them, and then killed them all. And so what happened was the King of France basically gave all of their stuff to that other group. There's actually a place in Nashville that they have a lodge of that specific group, the rivals of the Knights Templar.
Well, I thought, and I might be wrong on this. I thought the Knights Templar, whenever they got
He's trying to find the assassin.
murdered, murdered or something, however, like you just said, just got exterminated, that they continued on in secret and eventually became something else. As in,
probably.
like, the Freemasons or the Illuminati.
I have an
or
idea.
stuff like that.
We should, if y'all want to do it with me, you can. I'm thinking about joining the Freemasons.
Joining the Freemasons?
Yeah.
What's the point behind joining the Freemasons?
I probably shouldn't put this on the internet.
Do you
I
think
want the
Free-
knowledge.
Do you think the Freemasons are going to vet you that hard about it?
Maybe.
Like, I guess it really just depends on which one you go to.
I want the knowledge. I don't necessarily really want to deal with the
But
goofy
what
stuff.
knowledge do you think that they have that you don't have?
I think they have ancient knowledge, ancient
But
wisdom.
yeah, but listen, I'm gonna be completely.
I could be
honest
completely
in my,
wrong.
In my opinion, I'm gonna say that the one here in Middle Tennessee does not have the knowledge that you are seeking. Most likely.
I know, but that also could probably not be true. But
I love it when I'm right.
what? Let me see.
Go ahead.
Let's hear it. No, just read it. Read it.
Okay. So they even said, so while they were on opposite sides, the Templars and
Speak into your mic.
the Nizari did have interactions. For example, there are accounts of the Templars engaging in conflict with the Nizari or the assassins.
Yeah, and that's not what I. Okay, so
Okay.
you're missing the whole point. I said the rivals of the Knights Templar, and your response was assassins. That's
Yeah.
not. We weren't talking that they never fought each other, came in interaction. We were talking about the rival of the Knights Templar.
Yeah, and I did the rival, and then you try to connect it with the video game as if it wasn't an actual historical fact that they were actually a.
But you're changing it. That's not.
We said that it was a historical fact. We
No, but
acknowledged
he
that.
automatically looped as if I was talking about a video game when I'm speaking of the actual
No,
fact.
no, you're changing it up.
I said
was-
assassins, and he laughed instantly and said, "The game is not the game."
Because
it's not
I
the
was
story."
talking about the rivals, the arch nemesis of the Knights Templar.
Templars.
which they were one of them.
There was one.
of them. There was one.
Yes. So I was also.
You don't
speaking the
have
same
10.
thing.
You don't have 10 arch nemesis. You have one arch nemesis.
I don't know about that.
That's 100% true.
I don't know. You can have more than one nemesis. That's for sure.
Arch
We're
nemesis.
talking- yes, even the arch nemesis,
biggest-
you can have more than one.
You cannot have more than one of your biggest enemies. There's only one.
Yeah, like Palestine and Jews.
Yes, Muslims and Jews.
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
Okay, let's say this one, right?
I've never said that they didn't fight assassins, cults, and stuff. I never said.
I never
that.
said you did it, but
But that's what you're arguing.
no, I'm arguing that you try to make it seem as if I was just relating it to a video game, as if the facts weren't there.
Again,
Semantics, brother, dude. Oh my goodness.
they weren't the arch rival. They weren't the enemy. Okay, that
They
maybe.
were an enemy.
They
They're
were
also
not.
allies, but
There
also
was.
enemies.
It's like Democrats and
normal.
Republicans. You know, Republicans don't like they have debates with independents, but that's not their enemy. Their enemy is the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you're right by saying that. Have Republicans had interactions with independents? Yes, that's correct. But that's not who they're worried. That's not who they're putting their focus on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, man. Maybe you misunderstood what I was saying, but
You know.
Well, let's segue this from here into what Blake wanted to talk about with his history. It was something from World War II or something like that.
speaking of Trump,
Speaking of Trump, nobody said Trump's name one time. Nobody said Trump's name one time.
hold on. Let me pull this up and then I'll restart that. Speaking of Trump, we're going to take a little dive into Nazi history.
Nazi history. I love it. I love it.
So I got to...
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because people call Trump Nazi, so I thought
Oh,
that'd be a
okay.
good segue.
Okay. There's the connection.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were calling.
I've got
Trump
something I want to
Nazi.
say after
no.
after you read this off.
Say it real quick.
Well, I was just going to say how I think it's bananas that people are comparing The Handmaid's Tale to our current situation with Donald Trump.
Never seen.
I
that
think
one
it's
thing.
crazy.
All right. Let's get off the politics for a second.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, this isn't. I was making a simple joke. So I got a thing here. All right, whatever. Here we go. When we talk about Nazi Germany, most people picture tanks, totalitarianism. But you can't say that word.
Totalitarianism.
There you go.
Izzy can't say it, not me.
And terrifying atrocities. But behind the political machinery, there was another layer few understand. A fascination with the occult. High-ranking officials in the Third Reich weren't just
Yeah,
obsessed.
the accent on there.
Right.
Actually, do the whole thing in the accent. Just be very angry.
High-ranking officials in the Third Reich weren't just obsessed with military conquest.
I take it back. Continue.
That's his move, bro. If you ever watch a video of Hitler, he's always grabbing the air, bro. I've been watching a lot of World War II podcasts and shit. Whatever.
continue.
Yeah, Third Reich weren't just obsessed with military conquest.
Oh no.
They were also drawn to mysticism, pagan symbols, and the belief in an ancient supernatural deity, destiny for the so-called Aryan race. At the center of this dark web was Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, who essentially turned his branch of the Nazi regime into a cult. He was I'll get more into whatever. He was obsessed with Germanic mythology, rune magic, and even tried to trace the roots of the Aryan people to lost civilizations like Atlantis. Himmler believed he was the reincarnation of a medieval king, and his Wewelsburg castle was redesigned to function as a ceremonial center, a kind of Nazi Camelot, where he hoped to perform rituals to shape a new world order. I got more to say about that later, but
Okay.
I got a lot here.
research he did. He was a very fucked up person.
Yeah.
Interesting with his research.
the life of, if you can be objective and understand that he committed atrocities,
Oh, yeah.
and you study just him as a person and what he did throughout his life, it's actually pretty interesting. It's interesting to study.
Yeah, you have to. So Adolf Hitler himself wasn't as deeply entrenched in ritual practices, but he certainly embraced the power of myth and symbol. He believed a destiny, prophecy, and the guiding hand of unseen forces. His personal astrologers and mystics, some of whom he later turned against, were once part of a broader spiritual strategy to maintain control and manipulate public perception. Here's where Zoe comes in.
All hail Zoe.
Then there was Joseph Goebbels.
Joseph Goebbels.
Master of propaganda, who understood the psychological power of myth better than most. While less directly involved in occult practices, Goebbels wove themes of sacrifice, rebirth, and divine mission into Nazi messaging, turning Hitler into a messianic figure. Together, these men didn't just lead a nation, they conjured a dangerous mythology that cast themselves as agents of fate. It's this blend of superstition, ideology, and ego that gives Nazi occultism its uniquely disturbing place in history. I got more to say about Himmler, a little more, couple paragraphs about him specifically, but I don't know, I just like to go over the idea, like, I'm not like, just it's crazy, like imagining living in like Nazi Germany, like this whole occult theme, and it's like, it's not, I'm not fighting or like saying the Nazis did anything bad, but you have to understand the people's mindset at this time to like let things go to the extremes that they did. World War I happened. Germany was completely destroyed. You think that we were bad in the Great Depression? Germany was way worse. All this stuff happened, and then you have these propaganda, this amazing rhetoric. Say what you want about Hitler, because I agree. Like, he did some horrible things that should have never happened. But he was an amazing spokesman, and I will say he turned Germany around. And these people seen it, and they went from living like fucking dogs to living like kings. So it's just interesting to get into the mindset of these people, like how it had to have been, how, like, I don't know, and how
engrossed people were in the culture at the time of the basically the Nazism.
And they all kind of turned against Jews. Not all of them. There were some good people, but a lot of them fell for that ideology of hate the Jews.
Yeah, because they saw the hate. I mean, even though it was hateful, they saw, I guess, the growth and the development around them and their lives getting better through that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you would be surprised at how much people will believe when the person who is spewing the hate and the propaganda is actually helping them in their daily lives.
Yeah. And it does make me like look at the whole, I'm not trying to bring it back to politics, but like today, oh God, this is going to be bad.
you've said a lot of bad things already.
It's okay.
I think you've already crossed that.
But I think I understand what you're about to say, but I want you to say it before I agree, because maybe I'm going to say no.
I don't think Trump is like that at all, but I could see how we could fall into that situation with him. Not because of him. I have a firm belief and hope in my heart that he is doing the right thing, is trying to do the right thing, and doesn't want to turn it into that. But because exactly that's what he's doing, it could easily turn into that.
Yeah. Well, and I've thought the same thing before too. You have to look at things and just from both sides, and you have to be not a fucking retard.
Yeah.
Just don't be a freaking retarded, dude. Like I said, I think we talked about it a little last time.
I mean, he's retarded.
I'm a little retarded, but I don't like everything that Trump says. I don't like him on a personal level. I mean, yeah, he's kind of annoying, but
On
it's
a personal
not about,
level, I think he'd be cool as fuck.
he's not. It's
I might go get a beer with him.
I would.
it's not about what he's like on a personal level. It's about what he's like when he is the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I think he's gotten a lot better than he's. I don't know.
Less, I guess, vocal and.
I wouldn't even say less vocal.
Less outspoken on.
Less. I don't give a fuck.
He's not
what
less
I'm saying.
outspoken
No, I
because
need
he's
to-
instead of Twitter this time it's Truth Social, and he'd be saying some just crazy
is
shit on
Truth Social?
Truth
It's his,
Social is basically Trump's new social media.
It's not new. It's been around for years now. But it came out when they banned him off Twitter.
Yeah.
Whenever
My dad's on it. My dad loves it
my dad's on Truth Social too.
because it's a very from what I understand, it's a very right wing
Yeah.
political app.
There's I'm sure there's leftists on it, but it's not very many. All right, so let's get back into Himmler because he was the more
Himmler.
interesting one.
Oh, he was.
He was more interesting. He's actually who I did my school project over in elementary school. Yeah, I got Heinrich Himmler.
It's Michael Jackson and Hitler, baby. I don't know what to tell you.
You just found like his old
Nah, because
backpack
I
that was, like,
definitely didn't talk about this in my school project.
a lot of fucked up shit in school projects. I've always
Yeah.
gotten good grades.
They made us do a business model and all that, and I did a weed dispensary,
Oh
and I presented in front of the whole class and everything, bro. All right.
It honestly checks out. It's okay.
Heinrich Himmler wasn't just Hitler's enforcer. He was the architect of a strange spiritual ideology that turned the SS into something far more than a paramilitary unit. Under Himmler's command, the Schutzstaffel, that was French if anything, became a kind of pseudo-religious order with ranks, rituals, and beliefs that drew heavy from ancient Germanic paganism and mysticism. He handpicked symbols like the double lightning bolt runes, which I'm sure y'all know,
Yeah.
the SS, the black sun, and the Totenkopf skull to represent the SS.
That's a new one. What's
Totenkopf, it's the skull.
It's where Marvel gets their Red Skull inspiration from.
So it's Totenkopf.
I got it.
Oh, I
They
didn't.
have a mask too. Okay, let's get started.
Yeah, so not just for intimidation, but to evoke a sense of mythical power. New recruits were expected to view themselves as part of a sacred brotherhood, bound by blood, duty, and destiny. Marriage, I'm sure y'all know this, but marriages were even approved based on racial purity charts, with Himmler acting as both bureaucrat and high priest. Swearing loyalty to Hitler wasn't just political, it was spiritual. Himmler wanted to forge a new kind of warrior, one that was racially pure, spiritually devoted, and ideologically fanatical. Central to this cult-like vision was Himmler's obsession with reincarnation and his personal belief that he was the reincarnation and his personal belief that he was the reincarnation of Heinrich I, also known as Henry the Fowler, the 10th century German king who laid the foundations of what would become the Holy Roman Empire. Himmler saw Henry not just as a historical figure, but as a kind of spiritual ancestor whose mission he was destined to continue. In this belief, Himmler imagined himself as the rebirth of a great king tasked with restoring the ancient Germanic order. Wewelsburg, this fucking weird word, castle, which he redesigned as the ideological heart of the SS, became the stage for this vision, with its round table room, therefore 12 SS knights, and a sun wheel mosaic on the floor symbolizing cosmic power. Wewelsburg was meant to be the future spiritual center of the Nazi Empire, a kind of Teutonic Vatican. This was no longer just politics or war. In Himmler's mind, he wasn't running a police force. He was leading a sacred order into a mythic battle for the soul of the world.
So it's basically
Like, that's all
they're trying to go from Nazis to spiritual leaders. Basically,
They're trying to be both.
They're trying to be both at the same time. Is what
So it's just interesting.
Nazis and spiritual leaders at the same time.
It's just interesting. It's literally like the biggest, quickest cult overtake that I think has ever happened. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, because I don't think that the entire population was believing in what what you just said. Basically,
I don't know. I think a lot
definitely
were.
the higher ups, and maybe the people that were right under the higher ups, and all the people that were close to the Nazi regime.
Have you ever heard of Crystal Knot?
No, I don't know what that
Why does
is.
that sound familiar?
It was the night that really, it was like the night that really everything changed for the Jews. And in Germany, what happened was the people went down and just started breaking all the glass windows in all the Jewish businesses, burning them, just completely destroying them. So don't tell me that the people didn't agree with that, bro, because there were some good people, but I think what happened was these people got so destroyed by what happened in World War I. All these things, they were just completely just depleted of everything. The first time something good came around, they latched on, and they literally were like mind
control.
Mind control. In a way, not like, I think it was in a way. I'm not giving them excuses because I mean, shit. If I'm living on a farm and I'm smelling bodies being burned,
Yeah, it's a bit much.
like I know it's there. I'm not gonna go and charge the concentration camp because that'd be.
But
I'd be dead.
do you
very
think
quickly,
that I find that it would be very difficult in the way that people live today to be able to do the exact same thing that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be very difficult simply because of all of the way that society goes. I don't feel like that's going to happen again, in my opinion. I don't think people are dumb enough to fall for that.
I just
So
had to make sure I was right.
There's been a lot.
You
of
always have to make sure
genocides.
you're
There's
right,
a
Izzy.
genocide
No,
going on
because he
right
was
now.
talking about basically keeping the purity, and for some reason the British royal family popped up in my head. I'm like, I'm pretty sure their family tree is fucked. And
Yeah,
I
they're
just
all
had to-
inbred.
Yeah, they're all inbred.
they're all inbred.
What was I gonna say? What was it? Oh, fuck! I'm tired.
And I looked right here, and Charles and Queen Elizabeth were cousins.
Yeah. Did you know Queen Elizabeth I, whenever World War I was happening, she was the grandmother of every single king that was fighting?
Oh.
The German king,
So basically, all of the kings
they were all cousins.
She was tooting that thing.
Yeah, World War
She
I.
was tooting that thing.
tooting that thing.
World War I was the biggest Hatfield and McCoy ever. I don't even know if they was cousins.
On that note, thank you for listening to the 89th episode of The Poor Perspective with your hosts,
These
Blake Reed, Isaiah Martin, and
motherfuckers.
Kendall Justice. They fucked his order up. Listen, I'm telling you, people, McDonald's will always get your order wrong. Go inside. Don't go
Or
through
how
the
about
But they
this?
will
How
flirt
about this?
with you.
Just don't eat fast food. Make something at home.
You know what? Not everybody's perfect like Izzy. Have a great day. We'll see you next week, everybody.